Hello dear students, good morning. How are you? Hope you are fine, you are good. So, God bless you and let's start one of your chapters, The Visitor of your book Flamingo 9th edition. So, students, have a look at the chapter, The Visitor. Let's start, but before that, let's have a look at the writer's biography or the writer's introduction. Who is the writer? Marcus Frank Zusak. So, dear students, let me suggest to you, please keep your book handy. It will give you better result and better understanding, right? Okay, so let's have a look at the introduction of the writer Marcus Frank Zusak. Actually, he is an Australian writer, right? He is best known for the book Thief and the Messenger, right? What book? The Thief and the Messenger. Two novels for young adults which became international bestsellers, right? And he won the Margaret A. Edwards Award in 2014 for his great contributions to young adult literature published in the United States. So, in this way, this was a short and brief introduction of the writer Marcus Zusak, Marcus Frank Zusak, right? So, let's start the introduction of this chapter. It was the introduction of the writer. Now, the introduction of the chapter. Have a look. This story is set in Germany during World War II. In your history, in the subject history, you might have studied, you might have learnt that two world wars have been fought so far. World War I from 1914 to 1919, right? And next, Second World War is said to have been fought during 1939 and 1945. So, the background is set on this World War II. Germany is there. Germany is the main country of this. So, at that time, German troops were there. German soldiers were marching in the city. In one of the cities we are talking about in this chapter, right? This story is set in Germany during World War II. Adolf Hitler, you know, the head of the Nazism, he founded Nazism, right? So, Adolf Hitler, the leader of Germany and the Nazi party, believed that Germans were superior to everybody and born to rule over the world. It was Hitler's opinion that Germans were the best, as we Indians are saying, north to south, east to west, India is the best. Exactly in the same way, Adolf Hitler was of the same opinion, but he was a bit believer in atrocities and he was a bit cruel person, cruel ruler, right? So, he was of the opinion that only Germans are the best and only they have got the right to rule the world and none else. Hitler had a special hatred for Jewish people. By and by they are being extincted and only one country, almost one country is left now, and that is Israel, where Jewish are flourishing. Otherwise, nowhere else they are flourishing. He considered them less than human. Everybody is human being. Yes, we all are human beings and we all have got the right to live our life in our own way, the way we like. We all have got the right to enjoy this precious life given by God. But he was of the opinion, Hitler was of the opinion that these so-called Jewish people were not human beings. They had got no right to lead their life as a human being. That's why he hated them and did not think they had a right to freedom or life. He arrested all Jewish people in Germany and imprisoned them in concentration camps. What are concentration camps, dear students? Concentration. This word has different meanings. Yes. Yes, students, you know concentration. This is one meaning, right? As we say, concentrate on your studies. Concentration. And in science also, concentration is used for better, a thick batter. concentration. But here somewhat different meaning this word carries. Concentration camps means these are the camps where people are kept, people are imprisoned, they are tortured, they are tormented. Yes, they are captivated over there and they have to undergo tortures, vexation, and ultimately they have to meet with the end, means they die. So this is concentration camps. Hitler hated these Jewish people so much that he used to keep them, he used to imprison them in the so-called concentration camps where they were captivated, they were tortured, and ultimately they were killed, right? Liesl, the main character of this chapter, main character, right? Some other characters will also be presented, but not now, later they will come in front, means Liesl's father, Liesl's friends, and one of the soldiers, one of the German soldiers, like that. Okay, so Liesl is a 12-year-old German girl. I am just explaining this introduction because only in this way this chapter will be easier for you to get perfectly, right? So Liesl is a 12-year-old German girl. She and her parents Hans and Rosa Huberman do not agree with Hitler's cruel policies. So dear students, here a very important grammatical discussion is to be there, right? Agree with. We agree with someone and we have to agree at some things. So it better we can speak it as agree at Hitler's cruel policies. Yes, despite being Germans, they did not like Adolf Hitler and his policies. So who are Liesl's parents? Hans and Rosa. Hans, her father, and Rosa Huberman, her mother, right? They do not agree, right? They do not agree to their cruel policies, these Nazis' cruel policies, right? Agree to, agree with someone and agree to something. And if you are angry, angry with someone and angry at something. So they are hiding a Jewish man, means they have given shelter. They have given shelter to one of the persons who is said to be their enemy. Their enemy means Germany, Germans, German soldiers, Hitler's Nazis enemy. So they have given shelter to a Jewish man called Max Vandenberg in their basement and are determined, they have made up their mind to give him shelter to protect his life from the cruel hands of these Nazis. This is very dangerous because they also know that this is very dangerous to keep any Jewish person in their home, because if they know, if they are found, if they have been arrested, if they have been found out giving shelter to this kind of person, Jewish, they can be arrested and they can be put to death. But still they have decided, means they are really showing humanity. Yes, students, we are humans first, then nationality is there, right? Then patriotism is there, but primary factor is humanity, mankind, and secondary factor is patriotism. So they have given shelter. This is very dangerous because if they are discovered, all of them will be arrested and put to death. In this excerpt, this chapter is just an excerpt, just a part, a small part, right? Except Liesl is playing with her friends when she hears some terrifying news. What that news is, let's know it, let's try to find it out through the chapter that follows, right? So the very first paragraph, a new ball had been found in Himmel Street football. Children are playing in the playground and they have got a good news that a new ball is there with the children. So this may be good news for them. So that was the good news. The somewhat unsettling means confusing news, perplexing news means the news that can put us into deep thinking. What will happen, right? So, the somewhat unsettling news you can see here, making them feel mildly nervous or worried. News was that a division of the NSDAP, this is an organization, dear students, this is an organization of the Nazis at the time, right? You can see National Socialist German Workers' Party or the Nazi Party, right? The leader of the party was Adolf Hitler. So, you can see the apostrophe D, it generally confused students. Yes, so many times it has confused students. What is this? They would or they had, because they both are written in their contracted form like this, apostrophe D. So, how to find out? Very simple. If you find first form of the verb, or if you find no verb, it is would, right? So, if third form is there, this is had. So, right now progressed is there. So, this is past form of progress. So, this is had. So, they had progressed all the way through the town. They were moving forward. They are going forward. They are coming in front. So, progressed all the way through the town, street by street, house by house, and now they stood at Frau. Frau is a German word, and this is used for Mrs. So, we can say Mrs. Diller's shop. So, when they were drilling, they were marching forward through the city, through various streets of the city. So, on the way there was Mrs. Diller's shop. So, they thought it better to halt. They thought it better to take some rest over there, taking a quick break before they continued with their business. Got it? From afar, the children watched. At a pretty good distance, the children had already noticed. Liesl had only just come out, and she, again the same, had walked over to Rudy and Tommy. Rudy and Tommy are her friends, playmates, right? So, she comes to them and she asks, "Excuse me, what's going on up there? What is going on up there? Excuse me, look over there, what's going on? Please tell me." She is asking her playmates, her friends who are playing with her. Rudy put his hands in his pockets. The party. They are checking all the houses and apartment blocks. So, Rudy, her playmate, says that those people belong to a party, Nazi party. Party means Nazi party, and they are checking all the houses and apartment blocks, right? Instant dryness seized the interior of Liesl's mouth. In short, this is an idiomatic phrase in this sentence, and we can say that she got terrorized, she got scared, right? That's why dryness was there. Whenever a person loses his nerve, becomes nervous, afraid, scared, then the same thing happens, physical phenomena. But for what? They have been searching the houses for what? Don't you know anything? Okay, means this Rudy says, "Tommy, you tell her, she knows nothing." Tommy was perplexed, Tommy was confused. Well, I don't know. When Rudy asked Tommy to explain everything about these party and their objectives to Liesl, then Tommy says, "I don't know. You are hopeless, the pair of you. They need more air raid shelters." Means air raid, air attack, right? Whenever air strike is there, so they are scared of and they want some shelter, or maybe they want to protect themselves in the underground, means in the basement. So, they are seeking secure and safe places to hide in. That is why they are searching all the houses, means which houses have got this kind of basements, so they can, so that they can get their protection. You are hopeless, the pair of you. The pair of you means Tommy as well as Liesl. So, paragraph number 10. What base means? Means when these two people have been told that these German soldiers are looking for some basements. So, this question is there, basement. What basements? Actually, no attics, of course. Basement means underground. They are checking the basements, means undergrounds in the houses, to see if they are good enough to be shelters. If they are, they means basements are safe enough, good enough for the people who take shelter in them. Liesl, you really are stupid, aren't you? So, Liesl is given this word, you are stupid, means you know nothing. Very simple basement, and they are searching for basements for this purpose only, don't you know? So, the children got back to their game, but Liesl was still standing. She didn't feel like playing because something else was going on in her mind as a tension. Yes, something else was going on, because she knew that they also had already given shelter to one of the Jewish persons. So, what will happen? It means this was going on in her mind. What will happen if these German soldiers happen to be in their house, and if they happen to discover, happen to find out this Jewish person, what will happen to that Jewish person as well as Liesl and her parents? So, that is why she did not feel like playing. She was just standing. How could she get back inside without looking too suspicious? The small crowd of men up at Mrs. Diller's shop was starting to disperse. Now they had, means other people were there at, means other people who were already sitting at Mrs. Diller's shop, when they found these German soldiers sitting over there coming to them. They thought it better to get scattered here and there, so they dispersed, and panic generated in that awful way when people were found moving here and there, running here and there in fear. So, it became an issue. Throat and mouth air became sand, means this rumor, means this news spread like fire everywhere. Think, she thought. Come on, Liesl, come on, think, means in this way, wherever you find these italics word, it means she is trying to say to herself, speak to herself, or maybe she is trying to think to herself. She is thinking herself, right? Liesl, what are you thinking? Just think of an idea. How can you look without any nerves, without any nervousness? And please look natural, and please let it be known to your parents that these German soldiers are coming. Think, Liesl, think. Rudy's code, far away voices congratulated him. Think, Liesl, she had it. That's it. She decided, but I have to make it real. Again, italics are there, means think, Liesl. Then she is presented as if she seems to have thought of an idea. So, she says, but I have to make it real. I have to look myself real. Not artificial, no fabrication should be there on my face. As the Nazis progressed down the street, the ball was passed through the air to one of the bigger kids, Klaus Behring, right? So, ball was being passed on from one child to another child. In this way, they were playing, right? The boy turned with the ball just as Liesl arrived. So, that boy, Klaus Behring, he had caught that ball, and in this way he was about to turn round, and all of a sudden he didn't know who was standing, who was coming behind him. So, actually Liesl was coming behind him, and he didn't know. So, as soon as he turned round, he just collided against Liesl, right? So, and they both collided with such force that the game stopped automatically. In this way, they both fell down and the game was stopped automatically. As the ball rolled off, players rained in. All these, when the ball rolled off, that was rolling on and on and on, and in this way the players rained in. Liesl held her grazed knee, means injured knee, with one hand and her head with the other. Means in this way, with one hand she was in this way and one in this way, right? So she fell down, that's why she got injury on her knee, and she got collided with Claus, so there was a bump, so she had got injured on her head also. Internal injury was there, that's why she had a bump on her head. So then Claus Beric only held his right shin, grimacing. He was making a very bad and dirty face and cursing. Where is she? She made me fall down. I was all okay. I was good, but all of a sudden she might have come and collided against me. So where is she? He is getting angry actually. Where is she? He's pat. I'm going to kill her. Means he was so angry actually. Nobody is going to kill anyone. They are mere children, and in playing they get angry, they become happy. So this is just common, right? So he gets angry to such an extent that he says that if I find her, I will kill her. There would be no killing actually. It was worse. A kindly party member had seen the incident and jogged dutifully down to the group. Then all of a sudden one of these soldiers, one of these Nazi party members, just he overheard this and he said, actually nobody is going to be killed and nobody is killing anyone, right? So he just intervened and he asked, what happened here? Why are you all shouting, and why these two kids are sitting on the ground? What happens, and what has happened to this cute girl? Well, she is a manic. Manic means crazy, right? Mania is a kind of craze. So kleptomania, one of the examples, right? One who has got a natural instinct of making stealings. So kleptomaniac. So one who doesn't want to make any kind of stealing, but still he is forced. He gets this instinct of making stealings. So kleptomania. So exactly in this way, she is maniac. She is crazy. Claus pointing at Liesl. He just announced, prompting the man to help her up. So in this way, they are trying to help this girl stand up, who was sitting and who seemed to have cried also a bit because her knee had been injured. I don't think you are in any state to keep playing, my girl. So this soldier is speaking to this girl. I don't think that you will be able to keep playing any longer hereafter. So he said, where do you live? Means indirectly he wants to say, let me take you to your home, because you don't look well, because you have been injured, so let me take you to your home. Where do you live? I'm fine, she answered. Really, I can make it myself. Don't bother about me. I can make everything by myself. I'm quite okay, I'm quite fine. Means this girl herself did not want this soldier to go to her home, because she was already scared of these soldiers, because they had given shelter to this Jewish person, right? So I can make it myself. Just get off me. Just leave me alone. Leave me. I can manage myself. That was when Rudy stepped in, and then Rudy came on the scene. He stepped in. I'll help you home. Rudy says, okay, if you do not want to go home with this German soldier, Nazi soldier, so I can help you, right? So he said, why couldn't he just mind his own business for a change? Excuse me, Mr. so-called soldier, why don't you leave us alone, and I can manage. I can take her home. So you please leave us, will you? In this way. Really, Liesl said, just keep playing, Rudy, I can make it. So next para number 24. Again she had to think, and again she was able. She was thinking over and over again. When she was offered a help by Rudy, she was offered a help by the Nazi soldier. So over and again she was thinking. With Rudy holding her up, she made herself drop once more to the ground on her back. means when Rudy was giving her hand for help, means he was trying to lift her up in this way with his hand, but all of a sudden she once again fell down, right? "Ma papa," she said, "Miss Papa, I'm hurt." As usual, children cry like this, right? The sky she noticed was utterly blue, not even the suggestion of a cloud. "Could you get him, Rudy? Could you get him?" "Stay there." Liesl kept an eye on the party man. A minute later, Hans Huberman was standing calmly over her. Hans means her father. So he was there. "Hey Papa!" A disappointed smile mingled with his lips. "I was wondering when this would happen," he says. He picked her up and held her home. Father took his daughter home. The game went on and the Nazi was already at the door of a lodging a few doors up. Means now they were not far from their own house, Liesl's house, right? So no one answered. Once inside their house, Liesl gave him the information. Means when Liesl was at home, she bolted the house from inside and then she gave this information to her parents. She attempted to find the middle ground between silence and despair. Means she wanted to keep silent, but still she had to inform them, and she was disappointed, she was nervous also. So she is in the situation between silence and despair. She has to speak out, but she is not able because she has pain also and she is scared also. "Papa," the party, she whispered. Papa stopped. He fought off the urge to open the door and look up the street. "They are checking basements to make shelters. Papa, these Nazi soldiers are coming up and they are just searching each and every house for the safe basement," right? He sat her down. He made her sit down. "Smart girl," he said, and then called for Rosa, his wife, Miss Liesl's mother. They had a minute to come up with a plan. Means they were thinking of a plan and it took them a minute to make a strategy how to deal with the situation. So a schmozzle of thoughts, means they were lost in some kind of thoughts, means they were making some plans, right? So we will just put Max in Liesl's room, was Mama's suggestion. When they were thinking of an idea, so Liesl's mother gave a suggestion. She put in and gave a suggestion that let's put this Jewish man Max, right? So in Liesl's room under the bed. That's it. Yes, that's it. But what if they decide to search our rooms as well? Your suggestion is good only when they are searching basements. But what if they happen to search the whole house? Then they may be discovered. So, okay, let's cancel this idea. So, do you have a better plan? Correction is there. They did not have a minute. And a knock was, means they were just thinking, means they were thinking of another plan, another idea, but all of a sudden in the meantime there was a knock. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Somebody was thumping, somebody was knocking at the door outside. So a knock was hammered, means big and loud knock was there into the door of 33 Himmel Street, and it was too late to move anyone anywhere. They had already got so late, that's why they had no time to move about. Open up from outside. That Nazi soldier was calling out from outside. Yes, who is there? Open it, open the door. Their heartbeats fought each other. They all were scared so much that even their heartbeats could be heard, clearly heard, right? So a mass of rhythm was there. Their heartbeat, there was a mass, there was a confusion of their heartbeats together. It means simply they all were scared. What to do and what not, they all were in dilemma. On this day, it was Papa who rose to the occasion. He rushed to the basement door and threw a warning down the steps. When he returned, he spoke fast and fluent. Look, there is no time. So, it's of no use taking some more time for tricks. There is no time for tricks. We could distract him 100 different ways, but there is only one solution. They are just discussing with one another what to do and what not, because regularly they have been knocking on the door. He eyed the door and summed up, nothing. Excuse me, what happened? Nothing. That was not the answer Rosa wanted. Rosa did not want this answer. Her eyes widened, means she got scared. So she was confused also. Now what to do? Her husband was behaving like this. Nothing? Are you crazy? What do you mean by nothing? From inside you are telling him nothing. So why? What do you mean by that? Are you crazy? The knocking resumed, means once again the knocking continued, started. Papa was strict. Nothing. We don't even go down there. Not a care in the world. We are not going down. Whatever happens, let it happen. Okay? So, little Papa warned. But everything showed Rosa accepted it. So, whatever is going to happen, let it happen. And they all had surrendered in front of God. They were praying, oh God, please save us, because now we are going to open the door. Right? So, cleansed with distress, she shook her head and proceeded to answer the door. So, Rosa was there to open the door. Right? Cleansed with distress. She was quite panicked, but still she was to open the door.